Is the Empress of Soul in trouble? Or is this just another case of family drama spilling into the headlines? Today, we're breaking down the recent allegations about Gladys Knight's health, what her son is saying, and how Gladys is responding, and a little bit of history behind it all, and a little bit of history behind Gladys Knight. So, I'm chronically online, and a few days ago, I started seeing some concerning headlines about the legendary Gladys Knight. Several publications reported that her son is raising the alarm about her well-being, and the words dementia and elder abuse were being thrown around, so naturally fans were worried. Now, just to let you all know, this is not like to be gossipy. This is literally because this is about a legend, and that's what my channel is about, talking about people who I admire. So, here's what's being reported. Gladys' son, Shanga Hankerson, filed a complaint with North Carolina's Department of Human Services. In that complaint, he's worried about his 81-year-old mother in the early stages of dementia, pointing to memory loss, confusion, and what he calls her being on cruise control. He claims her current touring schedule is too much for her, and he points to his finger at William McDowell, who is Gladys' husband. He's saying that this schedule is detrimental to her health. So in other words, he's accusing her husband of putting her career before her well-being. And Gladys Knight's response: she says she's healthy and happy. Her team said that these allegations are completely unfounded, and they point out that Shanga hasn't had much contact with her lately, her being Gladys Knight, his mother. In fact, they're even considering legal action for defamation. According to her camp, Gladys is performing because she wants to, not because anyone is forcing her. And if you've ever seen her live, you know she's not just going through the motion. She still puts on a show. So to give that a little more context and to really understand why she's still on stage, you have to remember who we're talking about. Gladys Knight has been in the spotlight for over 7 decades. She started performing at just 7 years old with the Pips, and they became one of Motown's most beloved voices and most successful groups, and She earned the nickname, the Empress of Soul. She's won 7 Grammy Awards. She sold millions of records. And in 2023, she received the National Medal of Arts. She's one of the most consistent performers of her era. And she's never fully stepped away from music. Now, right now, Gladys is actually a part of the Queen's Tour. And this is a historic lineup. She's sharing the stage with Chaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, and Stephanie Mills. The tour kicked off in May and is hitting major cities across the U.S. with 2 legs, and I think they're concluding in this fall section right now. And if you've seen any of the clips online, you can tell it's a beautiful story almost. It's not just like one of those nostalgic acts where you're just like throwing people together. Like this makes sense. And these women are still delivering powerhouse performances and celebrating decades of R&B excellence. Like, do you remember Gladys Knight was on Versus, which I miss Versus, but she was on Versus against Patti LaBelle, which she really wasn't against. They just were up there kikiing like aunties. Now, this is the first time that there's been some family tension between Gladys and her son. Back in 2016, she accused Shanga of trying to extort her, claiming that he threatened to go public with false claims about her having Alzheimer's. I'm sorry, y'all, if I just mispronounced that. Alzheimer's. Unless she can settle a dispute over a restaurant that used her name. And that's a more important context because it kind of shows that this isn't the first time that health rumors have been tied to legal or financial disputes within this family. And that's not to say who's right or wrong, because I am not up to date on this case. So I'm not on, anyone's side. It's just saying the family has issues like a lot of families do. So here's a bigger question. When it comes to, these aging legends, I personally, I don't like to see when people say like someone should just sit down or they should be done, especially if it's someone who that this is their life. This is their livelihood also. And they're doing something they enjoy. Like, who are we to tell somebody to stop doing something that they enjoy? But this is always, I see this posted on social media a lot, like people should just stop or sit down. But who gets to decide when it's time for someone to slow down? Is it the family? Is it the fans? Is it the artists themselves? Like, if Gladys says she's healthy and wants to keep performing, should that be the final word? Or do her son's concern deserve more weight? Like, should there be a doctor involved to, show some level of like competency or something? And this is just one of those stories also where like love and legacy and money and things get tangled up. And unfortunately, family gets tangled up into that. But whatever the truth, Gladys Knight's legacy is secure. This doesn't change anything about who she is. And she's beloved to so many people. She's given us so many classics. And at 81 years old, she is still out here giving her fans all that she got. I think she's giving herself all that she has too, because this is something that she's been doing her entire life that she loves. So what do you all think? Should our music legends just keep going as long as they want, or should someone step in there, if there are these legitimate concerns? Let's talk about it in the comment, and let's talk about some of, Gladys's legacy as well. And if you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.